Yo, what's poppin'? Realest one here. Considering the opposing reactions, opinions, and perspectives on the matter, because it is sensitive, I feel like it's only being human that I started out like this. R.I.P. O.J. Simpson. God bless the dead. I'll even go a little bit further. R.I.P. Nicole Brown Simpson. R.I.P. Ronald Goldman. That's just being human. I do have my own personal feelings on the situation. When I say the situation, yes, I am referring to the trial, the murders, the gloves, all of that. So when you hear me say the situation, that's what I'm referring to. O.J. Simpson, man, he passed away 76, right? What, 2 days ago? He was battling cancer. He was battling cancer. I found out a couple of hours ago that it was actually prostate cancer. Don't wish anything like that on anybody, but there are people who definitely on the internet right now saying, good riddance, which was actually said by the Kardashians, step pops or whatever he's supposed to be, the Bruce Jenner fool, Caitlyn Jenner, right? He's like, good riddance. And that's an example of the vibes that's out here right now, because a lot of people, for years, it's been like that. Can't stand O.J. Simpson, hated him, disliked him. And, just because a person passes away does not mean that people are going to change their opinion of the person. But I respect people's opinion. That's how you feel about a person. That's how you feel. Me personally, I never hated him. I never disliked him. I never hated the other two individuals. Never disliked them. I just never put that much stock into it. But it was only when I seen people going back and forth on social media and comments at that, right? You want to talk about opposing views, opposing perspectives. Some people was like, the man passed away, have some respect. Some people not so much. You understand? But that's just what it is, man. We talking about a sensitive subject and a polarizing figure. So OJ, one of the biggest NFL names. You could probably call him an icon, safe to say. Spent 11 seasons in the NFL playing for the Buffalo Bills and the San Francisco 49ers. Only two teams, right? NFL legend. But when everything happened, the situation, it's like his NFL career, his infamy in the NFL, that popularity, not even the popularity, just that his NFL career, it's like it took a backseat. It's like when people heard the words O.J. Simpson, they thought of his NFL days second. And it was this situation that was always the very first thing people thought of, right? Some people hated the man, despised him. Some people rocked with him, supported him, which was before the trial, at the start of the trial, during the trial, at the end of the trial, because he did get acquitted. In 95, he got acquitted. Influence is a motherfucker. I said this before. And I'm not even talking about OJ. I'm just talking about influence in general. It is crazy how, some people can have enough popularity and power and stature to where no matter what they do, they can do the most low down shit. And certain people's opinions of them will never change. It is kind of scary to think that. And again, I'm not even referring to OJ. My personal opinion on the situation, because I do have it, I do have one. I look at it simply like this. I ain't capping for this man. I don't feel no way towards him. I don't feel any way towards Nicole or the Ronald gentleman. But I will say this. If you don't want, I feel like one of the things to take away from this that should have always been taken away from it. If you don't want to be with somebody, if you're not happy being with somebody, then leave. Don't be with them. To go outside your marriage, your union, that's one thing. But to bring a complete stranger into the house that someone helped make a home for you, you know, where both people lay their heads at, that's a dangerous game anyway. And that's even bigger than this. It's beyond OJ Simpson. I'm talking about that's just general knowledge. You understand? And when I say that, people probably feel like I'm insinuating that I believe he did it. No, I'm saying if you were to say to me, you're a realist, let's talk about your perspective if you think OJ did it. Let's say he really did do that. How do you feel? Then that would be my answer. You understand? Because when you cross a certain line, man or woman, wife or husband, when you cross a certain line, when you're talking about disrespect on a level of epic proportion like that, I had a conversation with some men myself, man, and it was like, yo, if I came across some shit like that, I might be liable to put some gloves on. The disrespect is real, you know, and I'm delivering it the best way I can because I understand it's a sensitive topic, and these individuals do have family members and friends that love them. You understand? But that's just my own personal opinion. I ain't gonna spend too much time on it because I realize it still probably comes off controversial. But yeah, his family, OJ Simpson's family, they put out a statement asking for, respect and peace, that type of stuff. But the internet is always undefeated. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? This whole situation, man, the questions that always followed this man around, no matter how many times he popped up on the news or, no matter how many books were put out, even with the knowledge of him being acquitted, for some people, it just never changed. They still had that question. Did he or did he not do it? So when people heard that OJ had passed, that was the first thing out of a lot of people's mouth. Oh, we'll never find out if he really did it. Now, people still felt that way. You know what I mean? To me, it wasn't really a matter of being curious because I personally feel like anybody is capable of anything when pushed to a certain limit. And I realize, again, me saying that, there are some who feel like I'm like excusing this man. That's not what that is. I'm saying if you feel like yourself, you ask me, I feel like it's a good chance anybody is capable of doing something like that. We're humans at the end of the day, but a human can turn into a monster real motherfucking quick. You understand me? And I'm not even talking about OJ when I say that. But this situation stuck, it stuck with American crime history. It was always at the top of the top, to the point where it was referenced in movies and shows. There would be movies and shows that were done on the situation. I remember it was Cuba Gooding Jr. who portrayed OJ, if I'm not mistaken, in like a little mini series. I think it had like a few seasons, and the show came out on FX. Like, if you seen certain shows, like just in American TV culture, certain shows might reference the whole trial, the whole thing by saying stuff like, he pulled the OJ. Don't pull the OJ on that fool. He just really just went OJ. Just for an example, man. So it always stuck. You know what I mean? The NFL part of this man's life was definitely destroyed, tarnished by this whole situation. And I'm not saying that to say like, oh, poor him. That's not what I'm saying. I don't have a dog in the fight. I'm just saying it for what it is, fam. And then you see all this other shit about OJ Simpson died owing $100 million to murder victims. Lawyer claims he owed $100 million to families of the murder victims. Ron and Nicole at the time of his death. But that's just a claim. They say he was spared jail. A civil trial jury found him liable for the deaths, 97, ordered him to pay $33.5 million to the families. And they say that the families have been pursuing those funds ever since and have reportedly only received 123,000 to date. Right? But of course, when you hear about somebody passing away, that's when a lot of shit that you might not have known about comes out. This could have already been out there because I never really followed like the whole life of OJ or anything like that. But my main thing about this, man, Pandora's box gets open when somebody passes away and people revisit their true opinion about a person and about the situation. So I knew when I seen OJ Simpson that passed away, which again, God busted dead, I already knew what it was. Huh? But I can't find it in myself to say I hate somebody I never met. You know, let's keep it real. This is the part where it's gonna get a little controversial, but I'm gonna say it. The real reason some people hate OJ Simpson is not because he killed somebody, but because he killed somebody that was white, Caucasian. But to be fair, had it been a white man that killed two black people, and in our eyes, it would have been, oh, he got away with it and then he died and there'll never be any real justice. You feel the same way, right? So I had to put it like that just to prove I don't have no dog in the fight. But just like a quick rundown to some of his accolades, you know, he was inducted into the Pro Football Hall of Fame in 1985. He was the first player to reach a rushing mark many thought could not even be attained in a 14-game season when he topped 2,000 yards, actually. Right? Yeah, man. Now leave your own comment, though. Like, are you one of those people who feel like, I just don't like this man. I despise him. He got what he deserved. By I can never sit here and say that somebody passing away is what they deserve. You know what I mean? I get it. When you have a hatred for somebody, that's the type of thing you say. But I didn't know him, you know, and it's hard for me to have sympathy for the other side when I feel like, and this is just in general. Take away from this, if you don't take away nothing else, if you don't want to be with somebody, if you feel like you got to do somebody dirty, if you feel like you got to cross that line with them, you know, and you're not considering the consequences, just please get away. Please get away. I feel like I feel like that is the message that people should be pushing. Seriously. I feel like it is. Because I'm not gonna sit there and say, yeah, he did do it. I'm not gonna sit there and say he hired somebody to do it. I'm not gonna do all of that. But I'm gonna say this. Had they not been caught there, it wouldn't have happened. That's something that, and do other people agree with that? That's the type of thing people die over every day, you know? And I got all the sympathy in the world. But to see people who, you know, it's one thing for the family and friends to feel hatred towards the man. I can't feel that. I can't feel that. You understand? Like, I don't know, man. Listen, I mean, I'll leave y'all comments. Am I wrong for saying what I'm saying? Honestly, keep it 1,000. I'm open to an opposing perspective, but I ain't about to go back and forth like these fools doing on the internet and comments and all of that. But yeah, OJ Simpson, 76 years old, passed away, prostate cancer. And this might be a little stupid to say, to ask, but what will you remember this man for? Is it more for his NFL career? Or is it because of, like I said, the situation? Realest one I'm on.